Okay, let's play a game of scale for a second. I want you to just picture $50 billion.
That is a number that almost creates its own gravity, you know?
It really does. It's the GDP of a small country. You could buy the Yankees, the Cowboys, and Real Madrid.
And still have change left over.
A lot of change. Now, imagine taking that entire pile of cash, $50 billion, and betting it on a single tech partnership.
It's a staggering figure. But, in the world of big tech right now, that is apparently the price of admission if you want to control the plumbing of the future.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we are tearing into the Retter Reboot Weekly Dispatch from January 30th, 2026. And I have to say, looking at the stories this week, the theme isn't just AI is getting slightly better.
That was more fundamental.
It feels like the actual mechanics of the web are being rewired right in front of us.
I think that's the perfect way to frame it. We're seeing a shift from the internet as like a library where you go to look for things to the internet as a concierge.
Where things are just done for you. Right. So our mission today is to really unpack this shift. We're going to talk about that massive $50 billion figure with Amazon. We're going to look at the rise of agents. And yes, even Yahoo is back in the game.
Which is
a bit of a surprise. A huge surprise. We've also got new tools for scientists that are honestly mind-blowing. And finally, we have to talk about the messy side.
the AI slop.
And how companies are trying to prove that you, the listener, are actually a human.
It's a packed stack.
So let's not waste any time. Let's go back to the money. The headline from TechCrunch is that Amazon is in talks to invest up to $50 billion in OpenAI.
Right.
Now, you have to contextualize this for me. Because didn't Amazon already pour billions into Anthropic, OpenAI's biggest rival? It feels like they're betting on both horses in a two-horse race.
It does look a little like hedging, doesn't it? But you have to look at what Amazon is. Yes, they're the everything store, but their real profit engine is AWS.
Amazon Web Services.
They are the landlord of the internet. And this report, it specifies that the investment is for long-term access to AI technology and massive compute capacity.
Compute capacity. We hear that phrase all the time. Can we just pause and translate that? What are they actually buying?
Sure. So think of compute as the electricity of the AI age. These big frontier models like what powers ChatGPT, they need physical data centers.
So buildings full of computers.
Hundreds of thousands of specialized chips, massive cooling systems. So when we say compute capacity, we're talking about the raw physical infrastructure required to think.
So Amazon isn't just buying shares. They're guaranteeing OpenAI's models will run on their servers.
That's the play. It's an infrastructure play. They want to be the railroad that the AI train runs on.
And the source mentions this is about their position against Microsoft and Google.
Of course. Microsoft has Azure. Google has Google Cloud. Amazon has to make sure that if OpenAI becomes the dominant intelligence layer of the world, that intelligence lives in an Amazon data center.
So it's an arms race, but instead of missiles, they're just stockpiling GPUs and server racks.
That's a very, very accurate comparison.
Yeah.
We're moving into an era where these frontier AI models are becoming critical infrastructure.
Like the power grid.
Exactly. Like electricity grids or telecom lines were in the past. If you control the model and you control the servers it runs on, you control a huge part of the future economy.
So that $50 billion isn't a gamble, it's a fortress. They're building a moat.
Precisely. And while Amazon is securing the back end, pouring all that concrete and silicon, the way we actually use this stuff on the front end is changing just as drastically.
Which brings us to agentic browsing.
Yes.
Okay, agentic. I see this word everywhere in the Retter Reboot this week. It sounds serious. What are we actually talking about here?
So traditionally your browser is passive. You open Chrome and it just sits there, waits for you.
Right, I have to drive it, I do the clicking, the typing.
An agentic browser is active. It has autonomy. It does the driving for you.
And Ars Technica is reporting that Google has already started rolling this out. An auto-browse AI agent inside Chrome.
They are.
I have to say, I love this because I really hate administrative tasks.
Don't we all?
Give me a real-world example. How is this different from, say, Siri 10 years ago?
It's the action part that's different.
Yeah.
The source describes it as changing Chrome from a passive browsing tool to an active assistant.
Okay.
Let's say you need to renew your vehicle registration. Today, that's you, navigating some awful government website, finding the right form, typing in your VIN.
A total nightmare.
With Auto Browse, the agent autonomously navigates that site. It finds the info it needs from your files, it fills out the forms, and it completes the task on your
Oh,
behalf.
I'm not browsing. I'm delegating.
You're delegating. You're the CEO of your digital life, and Chrome is your new executive assistant.
That sounds incredible for productivity. But I have to ask, if Chrome is doing all the clicking for me, does that mean I don't see any of the ads on the website?
That is the multi-billion-dollar question, isn't it? If the agent reads the web for you, the ad model that supports the entire web gets, complicated.
Yeah, to say the least.
But before we even go down that rabbit hole, we have to talk about a surprise entrant in this field. I actually did a double take when I saw this in the Spyglass report.
Yahoo.
Yahoo is back.
I feel like I haven't typed yahoo.com since I was checking fantasy football scores in like 2015. But they're not trying to be a portal anymore.
No, no. They are launching something called Scout. And this is fascinating because it shows how even the legacy tech companies are reading the room. They know they can't beat Google at the 10 blue links game.
So they're trying something different.
Scout is an AI agent designed to navigate the web for you.
So how is that different from what Google is doing with auto browse?
The focus for Scout seems to be really heavily on synthesis. The source says it autonomously explores sites, extracts details, and delivers concise, task-oriented results.
Synthesis. That's the key word there.
It is. Instead of giving you a list of 5 recipe blogs to read, Scout reads them for you, compares them, cuts out the author's whole life story,
Thank goodness.
and just tells you, here is the consensus on how to roast a chicken, and here is the shopping list.
It really feels like the death of the website visit as a metric. If Yahoo Scout or Chrome is just stripping the information and handing it to me, I never actually visit the source.
That's the entire shift. The friction is being removed. And if you want to see where this all goes when you add money to the mix, you have to look at Meta.
Right, Mark Zuckerberg. TechCrunch reported on his recent comments about Meta's roadmap for 2026.
And he was very specific. He talked about a major wave of AI products coming in 2026, focusing on agentic commerce tools.
Commerce tools. So, shopping agents.
Shopping, business workflows, customer service. Meta wants to own the transaction. Imagine scrolling Instagram, you see a jacket you like. Instead of clicking out to a website, dealing with a shopping cart, an agent just acts on your behalf. It handles the purchase, maybe even finds a discount code, and deals with shipping.
And this would work across WhatsApp and Facebook, too.
That's the vision. Autonomous agents as intermediaries for everything commercial.
So let's just recap this section for a second, because a really clear picture is forming here. We've got Google browsing for us to save time. We've got Yahoo synthesizing information so we don't have to read.
And we've got Meta's agents buying things so we don't have to check out.
The common thread is that the user is stepping back. We're not doing the work anymore.
The user is becoming a manager. We are moving from the information age, where the goal was just access to data, to what you could call the delegation age.
The delegation age. I like that. I do worry what happens to our critical thinking skills, but in the workplace. I'm desperate for this. I spend half my day moving information from one app to another.
It's the toggle tax.
Exactly. And that leads us perfectly to our next stories. Because the tools being built for work and for science are getting ridiculously powerful. Let's talk about Anthropic and Claude.
This was from the Decoder. And they're claiming to solve exactly what you just complained about. They've integrated tools like Asana, Figma, and Slack directly into the Claude interface.
Okay, unpack that. Because right now, if I use ChatGPT or Claude, I'm just copy-pasting stuff back and forth. Summarize this, then I paste it into Slack.
Right, you're the manual bridge. What Anthropic is doing is removing that wall. Claude can now read context from these other apps, so it can look inside your Asana board or see design specs in Figma.
And can it actually do anything, or does it just talk about it?
That is the big update. It positions Claude as an action-oriented work assistant. You could say, Claude, look at the feedback in this Slack thread and update the project timeline in Asana.
And it does it.
It doesn't just tell you what to do. It goes into Asana and changes the dates itself.
Wow. That's the difference between a chatbot and, like, an actual employee.
Precisely. It's moving from chatting to doing. And if you think that's impressive, we have to talk about Prism.
Okay.
This story from TechCrunch actually made me stop and think, okay, the future is really here.
This is OpenAI's new workspace for scientists.
Yeah, for scientists. We're not just writing marketing emails anymore.
No. Prism is designed to accelerate scientific discovery. It combines data analysis, literature review, and experiment planning all in one place.
How does that work in practice? I mean, science is messy, data is messy.
Well, think about the bottleneck. It's often the sheer volume of data and the reading required. A researcher might spend months just reviewing previous studies.
Right.
Prism helps them reason over complex data sets, so it can look at the data, look at the literature, and actually help generate hypotheses.
Well, it can help generate hypotheses. So the AI is suggesting, hey, maybe you should look at this connection.
Exactly. It's acting as a high-level research partner. It's not just summarizing, it's connecting dots that a human might miss. Because the data set is just too big, we are talking about speeding up the cure for diseases.
That's incredible. It really is. But, and you knew there was a but coming.
There is always a but.
All of this generation, all these agents creating content. It's creating a bit of a mess, isn't it? The internet feels a little garbagey lately.
It does. Slop is the industry term that's catching on.
Slop. Just say it. It sounds gross.
AI slop. It refers to low-quality, repetitive, mass-produced AI-generated content.
And Android police reported that YouTube is finally cracking down on this. Thank goodness. Every time I search for a tutorial now, I get 5 videos with that robotic voice reading a Wikipedia article.
It's a huge problem for them. If users can't trust that a video offers real value, if it's just spam to farm ad revenue, they stop watching.
So what are they actually doing? They're tuning their algorithms. The report says they are tightening enforcement to prioritize originality and creator intent. Basically, if their systems detect mass-produced spam, they're limiting its monetization and visibility.
So they are cutting off the money supply.
That's the goal, to protect the human element. But this issue of human versus AI goes way deeper than just bad YouTube videos. It goes to the core of our identity online.
Which brings us to the Forbes story. OpenAI exploring a biometric-based social network.
This one is controversial.
Yeah, biometric, like scanning my face to posts.
Or your iris or your fingerprint.
Mm.
The report says they are exploring this specifically to combat the bot problem on platforms like X.
Which, to be fair, is a disaster. I feel like half the arguments I see on social media are just two language models hallucinating at each other.
Exactly. And the logic is, if AI can generate text that passes the Turing test, and images that look real and voices that sound human, the only thing you can't fake is biology.
Proof of personhood.
That's the term. Using biometric signals to establish human authenticity. The idea is to create a space on the internet where you know for a fact you're interacting with a real person.
It sounds like a sci-fi dystopia. Please scan your retina to tweet. But at the same time, I kind of want it. I'm so tired of wondering if I'm talking to a bot.
It's the double-edged sword of all this tech. We want the convenience of agents, but we also crave the authenticity of human connection. The more powerful the agents become, the harder it is to tell the difference.
So let's try to pull all this together. We started with the money. Amazon's $50 billion to secure the infrastructure. That's the foundation.
Right. Then we have the application layer. Chrome, Yahoo, Meta building agents that browse, synthesize, and buy things for us. That's the agentic shift.
Then we have the specialization layer with Claude managing our projects and Prism helping scientists cure diseases.
And finally, the immune response. YouTube fighting the slop, and OpenAI exploring biometrics just to prove we exist.
It really feels like we are at a tipping point. The internet of 2026 is going to look nothing like the internet of 2024.
It's a fundamental inversion. For 30 years, the web was a place where humans went to find information. Now, the web is becoming a place where software goes to perform tasks.
That is a massive thought. And frankly, it's a little terrifying, but it's mostly exciting. I mean, if I never have to fill out another online form, I welcome our new robot overlords.
As long as they don't buy the wrong shoes for you.
True. Now, before we sign off, I want to leave you, the listener, with one last thought. We talked about these two big trends, AI agents browsing the web for us, and the rise of biometric networks to prove we're human.
Where does that leave us?
Well, think about it. If I have an AI agent browsing the news and shopping for me, and I have to scan my eyeball to get into the human social network, are we heading toward a future where the only real humans on the internet are the ones inside a walled garden?
While the rest of the open web is just a ghost town of AI agents talking to other AI agents. That is a haunting possibility. The dead internet theory coming to life, but with a VIP lounge for the humans.
A VIP lounge for humans, something to chew on while your auto-browse agent orders your lunch. Thanks for listening to The Deep Dive. We'll see you next time.
Stay curious.